All right, gentlemen and ladies, thank you very much for your patience. I mean, the whole idea was to strategically wait for about 5 minutes or so for more people to join, and then we could begin. So, thank you very much for waiting, and for the early birds, you've been awesome. Thank you for joining in early. I mean, be rest assured that none of this is gone unnoticed, right? So, well done for all that you do. All right, so just to quickly get into it. I'm going to bring up our one and wonderful trainer, Miss Chidebere Umokafo, who will also touch base on a few things today, which will obviously cover for like an hour. And then we can bring another expert on the call, Mr. Ini, who will also take about an hour or so. Once again, the idea is to wrap up everything we could do as early as possible so that by 12 or say maybe a few minutes past 12, we all can go back to our plans. I mean, most people rather, or let's say a few of us who are actually Muslim brothers and sisters who are preparing for their Eid for tomorrow. So, Chidebere, if you're ready, I hand over to the one and only global expert to run us through the activities as well as the training for today. Chidebere, if you're ready, over to you, ma.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Hafiz Salisu. Good morning, everyone. Please let me know if you can hear me.
Yes.
Good morning, Chidebere.
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay. Good morning. I'm Consultant Chidebere. Thank you so much. I'm Consultant Chidebere Umokafo, and I'll be your trainer for today. In the last 4 weeks, we learned about cybersecurity using the NIST framework. And today and in the next 3 weeks, we'll be learning about cloud computing. I'm glad to have you guys today. Sorry, let me share my screen. Please let me know. Thank you so much. Please let me know when you start seeing my screen.
Okay, yeah, I can see it.
Okay, you can see my screen. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, I can see it.
Okay. So we'll be starting with cloud computing, the concepts of cloud computing. And today, our learning objectives, we cover the fundamentals of cloud computing. We'll introduce Microsoft Azure and explore its key features. And I believe that at the end of today, we'll all learn about Azure's architecture, the core services and governance capabilities. And hopefully, I believe that everyone should understand how Azure supports businesses with scalable and secure cloud solutions. Please, if you have any questions, do where to raise your hand. Thank you. So when we talk of cloud computing, what comes to your mind? Can anyone answer? Any idea? Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, Mr. Kunle.
I can hear you.
Go on. Okay.
I can hear you.
Okay.
Mr. Kunle, answer it. Okay.
Okay. Cloud computing, to me, I see it as an interconnection of computers that render services on the cloud. So you don't have to be there physically, but you can they can host your services for you, and they can give you leverage on those services as you want it.
Yes, that's perfect. That's perfect. Thank you so much. So cloud computing is the delivery of technology services like computing power, storage, databases, networking, and so much more over the internet using a pay-as-you-go model. And that means you don't have to pay. Sorry to say, you only get to pay for the resources you use. Instead of maintaining that physical infrastructure, businesses can rent the services from providers like Azure, AWS, or Google Cloud. And the model enhances business efficiency. And these days, many businesses make use of cloud computing So let's look at the benefits of cloud computing. When working with cloud services, it's very crucial that the service you need is highly available, exactly when you need it.
Yeah. Because legislature is elected.
Sorry, are you talking to me? Yeah. I said when working with cloud services, it's crucial that the service you need is highly available, exactly when you need it. And that's where high availability comes in. You ensure that the IT resources are accessible when needed. The next one is scalability. And the scalability talks about adjusting resources based on demand.
Most people rather, or let's say few of us who are actually
Sorry,
brothers and sisters who are preparing
Landon,
for the
please, can you mute your mic? Thank you. Right, as I was saying, I said another major benefit is the ability to scale resources as needed. Let's say your application experiences a sudden increase in traffic. You can add resources to manage the demand. There are two types of scaling. We have the vertical and the horizontal scaling. Vertical scaling is useful when you need more processing power and need to add or remove the CPUs or your RAM to your virtual machine. Then the next, we have the horizontal scaling, which talks about increase or decrease in resources, either manually or automatically. The next one we have is the reliability. The reliability of your cloud provider is very crucial in case of catastrophic events. It ensures that the system remains operational and can recover quickly when issues arises. That's the ability to recover from failures and maintain functionality. Let's look at the next benefits. The next benefit talks about predictability, which allows businesses to move forward with confidence by maintaining consistent performance and managing costs effectively. Performance predictability guarantees resource availability, while cost predictability helps in forecasting and expense control. We have the shared model, and this shared responsibility model is where the responsibility gets shared between the cloud provider and the customer. We have the physical security, like the data center, and it's the responsibility of the cloud provider. The customer isn't co-located with the data center, so it wouldn't make sense for the customer to have any of those responsibilities. And at the same time, the customer is also responsible for the data and information stored in the cloud. You wouldn't want the cloud provider to be able to read your information, right? I hope I'm not too fast. Sorry.
No, you are not.
Yes.
You are not. It's
No,
okay.
Yeah, okay.
no, you are not. Yeah.
Are you guys getting what I'm saying?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
The customer is responsible for the access security, meaning you only give access to those who need it, and also responsible for the application patches and security of the model. So here we see the diagram of how the responsibilities are being shared. The cloud provider is the one responsible for the physical data center. As you can see, the how it is being colored. In this case is the Microsoft Azure that is the cloud provider, and they are the ones responsible for the data center, physical network and physical host, while the customer is responsible for the operating systems, network controls, applications, identity, and infrastructure. The service model will determine the responsibilities. Let's talk about the cloud service model. There are different kinds of cloud service models, but the three most common are the infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. And to make it easy, let's compare them with ride sharing. instead of buying IT infrastructure, companies rent it from cloud providers, just like you rent a ride from Uber or Bolt. When you rent a ride from Uber or Bolt, you don't have to maintain it. No fuel cost. You just pay for what you use. Let's now compare the cloud models to different transportation options based on how much control you want. Owning a car is similar to the on-premise approach. You're responsible for everything: maintenance, insurance, parking, and so much more. You are the one to find the route. And infrastructure as a service is comparable to renting a car. With infrastructure as a service, you get the basics like networking, storage, and servers. But you handle everything like renting. Your provider supplies the vehicle, or in cloud terms, your infrastructure, but you are in charge of driving, refueling, and navigation. The next we talk about is the platform as a service, which is the same as ride sharing. Platform as a service include everything in infrastructure as a service, plus the tools needed to build the applications, like the operating systems and middleware. It is like taking an Uber. You choose the destination on your app, but the driver or cloud provider handles the actual driving. The next one is software as a service. It is like taking a bus. With software as a service, everything is managed for you. You just log in and use the software. No setup, no maintenance or infrastructure needed. Just think of it like you're hopping on a bus. You don't worry about the fuel, navigation, or parking. You just enjoy the ride. And here we see the summary of the cloud service models. In summary, we see that infrastructure as a service is a scalable cloud-based infrastructure, and they are used by system admins like AWS, EC2, or Cloud Compute Engine. Then the platform as a service is a full development environment, and it saves developers time. Examples are the Google App Engine and AWS Elastic Beanstalk. Then sorry, let me shift it. Then the software as a service is software available online. You don't need to install anything. These are everyday staples like the Google Workspace, Dropbox, and Office 365. Then there are other cloud services I don't include here, like the function as a service, also called the serverless computing. In function as a service, instead of managing the servers, you just run the functions like processing payments or verifying user logins. You only pay for what you use. There is also anything as a service, covering everything from databases to disaster recovery. The good thing is that the cloud keeps evolving, offering more flexibility and efficiency than ever before. Next, we'll talk about the cloud deployment models. Choosing a cloud deployment model is one of the first choices you make when you want to migrate to the cloud. And there are several models, but the most common ones are the public, private, and hybrid. Let's go through each of them and understand their unique value. Imagine a private cloud like having your own personal gym at home instead of using a public gym. In a public gym, and in this case, public cloud, many people share the same space. They share the same equipment and resources, but in your home gym, everything is just for you. You control who uses it, how it's maintained, and what equipment you have. A private cloud is similar. It's a cloud computing setup that belongs to just one organization. Instead of sharing the servers and resources with other companies, the private cloud is built specifically for that organization, and it ensures that there is better security and control. Also, customization. It can be hosted on premises, that is in the company's own data center, or by third-party provider, but still remains dedicated to just that organization. So in simple terms, a private cloud is a cloud that is exclusively used by just one company, and it gives them full control over their data and resources. We have the public cloud, which is the second model. A public cloud is like using a public system instead of owning a private car. With a public transport, you don't need to buy a car, maintain it, or worry about repairs. You just pay for the ride when you need it. Similarly, in a public cloud, companies rent computing resources from cloud providers like AWS, Google Cloud, or Microsoft Azure. And since many businesses share the same cloud infrastructure, it's usually cheaper and easier to scale up or down based on demand. However, it's shared. There might be concerns about security and control compared to a private cloud. In simple terms, I would say a public cloud is a shared cloud service where businesses rent resources instead of owning them, making it cost-effective and flexible. I don't know why this. Okay. Let's talk about the hybrid cloud. It combines both the public and private cloud environments, and this is when an organization uses a combination of two or more distinct models. The different models interact with each other via a network link, and they can share data and services. It's more of a question of where data and services are physically stored. For example, you could store sensitive patient data on a private cloud for security reasons and use an application on the public cloud, like a business intelligence tool, to process it. So there are other cloud deployment models to consider, including multi-cloud. A multi-cloud combines different cloud provider services. For example, let's say an organization could use Azure for backups, AWS for web hosting, and Google Cloud for analytics. Multi-cloud, it provides flexibility on choosing pricing plans and service offerings. Next, I have question to gauge our understanding. I don't know if you all understood the cloud computing concept. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. I understand.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. So I have questions to gauge our understanding of the cloud computing concept. And the number one question says, Ben manages a team of developers who build custom applications. Instead of upgrading physical servers and equipment, he wants to provide his team with a scalable cloud-based solution that offers infrastructure, storage, and networking, but still allows the team full control over building. Which cloud service model would be best meet Ben's needs? Anybody with an answer?
Can you repeat the question again, please?
It's on the board.
Again, the question again.
AWS.
You can see it on the screen. I said, Ben manages a team of developers who build custom applications. Instead of upgrading physical servers and equipment, Ben wants to provide his team with a scalable cloud-based solution that offers infrastructure, storage, and networking, but still allows the team full control over the building. Which cloud service model would best meet Ben's needs?
Is it the private cloud? Public cloud. Public cloud. Private.
I'm talking of cloud service model.
Public.
Private.
Hybrid.
Platform as a service. Multi-model.
It should be hybrid.
As a service.
I'm talking of cloud service model, not deployment models. It's different from deployment models.
AWS can do.
We have that means
it should be anything as a service.
Infrastructure as a service.
Yes, it's infrastructure as a service.
Infrastructure as a service.
And why did you choose infrastructure as a service?
Because
Different
You can
networking.
rent things that you can rent.
Is that? Can you come again? I didn't hear you.
Oh, the answer is the first one, which is the infrastructure as a service, because the networking, like because we manage the networking because we manage the networking and the storage.
Yes, you got it. But the most important thing is that it has to do with infrastructure. Did you get it? You tried,
Yes.
actually. But the most important is that it has to do with infrastructure. So what are the benefits of cloud service? Can you give me any that you know?
Reliability.
Oh,
Yes.
scalability.
Yes.
In demand.
Cost effectiveness.
Yes.
Then performance with disability.
Predictable. Yeah, you got it. Yes.
And it allows taking full control.
Yeah. No, you don't have full control. It's a shared responsibility.
Collaboration.
Okay.
Encourages collaboration.
Yeah, with the cloud provider. The third one is list the cloud service models, And cloud service models.
Infrastructure as a service.
Yes.
Platform as a service.
Platform as a
Yes.
service.
Software
Software as a service.
Anything as a service.
Anything as a
I
service.
think we should calm down first. Everybody is so excited. I am very glad everybody knows it. Chidi, well done. So that it will not avoid too much of crowding, I think we should just raise up our hands so she can just call on you so that everybody's voice will not mix in at the same time. Well done, Chidi. You can go ahead, please.
Okay. So I have to go back to this one. If you know the answer, you can raise your hand. I'm saying everybody are raising their hands. The first person we have is Bola Joko.
Okay, so we have software as a service, platform as a service, infrastructure as a service, functionality as a service, and anything as a service, which I'm just here.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Hafiz, do you have anything? Because she has already mentioned all. I need to talk.
Obviously, she has mentioned what I wanted to say, which is correct. We have we have IaaS, we have PaaS, and we have SaaS. Majorly. So
yeah. That means you guys are following up. Thank you so much. And the last one is the deployment models,
Yeah. We have the private,
okay,
the public, and the private, public, and hybrid.
Yeah. Okay. That's fantastic.
Then we have multi-cloud.
Yes, we have multi-cloud. Thank you. We have multi-cloud. There are also more cloud deployment models that I didn't mention, but these are the main ones. Thank you so much. So we'll move to the next one. We'll be talking about Microsoft Azure fundamentals. Okay. So when we talk of Microsoft Azure, what comes to your mind? Anybody? Anybody with any opinion? Okay. Mr. Kunle?
Okay, I think Microsoft Azure is rendered by Microsoft itself. So they have those services and deployments on them that any company can use to their advantage.
Yes. Yes. Thank you so much. That's fantastic. So we said as Microsoft, as you can see here, we've already mentioned it as a cloud computing platform by Microsoft, and they offer services like virtual machines, databases, analytics, DevOps. They also enable businesses to build, deploy, and manage their applications globally or worldwide. So why Azure? Why do we use Azure? We use it to store our data. We run virtual machines. I believe you all know what a virtual machine is. Like you did in the first session you had. Anybody, do you remember?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
So what do you remember about virtual machine? Yes, Mr. Kunle.
So a virtual machine is actually another operating system that can be run on an existing operating system. So that means you can have like 2 or more operating system on a particular operating system. For instance, we can run Linux on Windows through a virtual machine. So the virtual machine would enable us have what's it called? Like a deployment session where we can run Linux on Windows. Same thing applies to Microsoft Azure. We can run multiple instances or multiple operating system on the cloud without needing to own those operating system physically.
Okay. I want to correct you. Virtual machine, they're not actually operating systems. They're just used to. Who's talking? Please, Mr. Lambert, can you mute your mic?
On Windows through a virtual machine. So the virtual machine would have
operating systems are the only operating systems we know are Windows, Linux, which other one? I think Mac. So a virtual machine is not an operating system. They are just used
virtual
to
machine.
Yes. That you just install it in order to run another operating system on your system. Did you get it?
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
I get you. I did not say it's a machine. Like
No,
it's an
you said
operating
it's an
system.
operating system. Okay.
No, I said is a platform that allows us to install operating system.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't know that was what you said.
Virtual machine.
Mr. Ibrahim, okay.
Virtual machine is the type 2 hypervisor, which is used to install operating system, or which is used to use operating system on another operating system.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Tayo. Stephen, your hand is raised up.
Yes. In addition to what you have just said, aside the fact that a virtual machine allows us to run an operating system and application within the virtual environment, it also allows it in isolation from the host operating system.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. Then we have machine learning. We also use Azure for machine learning. And I don't know if you all understand what the machine learning is. We also use it for database services and many more. So let me go to the next slide. So let's look at the Azure architectural structure. We have the physical infrastructure. And this is a network of data centers worldwide. Is where they place the servers, storage devices, and network hardware. We also have the regions. And regions are different locations around the world where those
Please
data
share your
centers
screen.
are grouped.
Share your screen. Please share your
Can't you
screen.
see my?
Sorry,
I not see my screen.
It's not changing. It's not changing. It's still in the former what
Are you
is
serious?
Microsoft also.
Maybe it's
Yes,
network.
yes.
Can you see it now?
Yes, you are currently on Azure
Yes,
architectural
yes.
Architectural structure.
Yes.
Is it visible
Yes,
now?
it's there now. It's there now. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So I said Azure's physical infrastructure is a network of data centers worldwide. We are equipped with the servers. We talk about the Azure portal, and it's already defined here. It's a user-friendly website to access, manage, control cloud resources. Manage, control cloud resources. And this is the Azure portal. This is their site, portal.azure.com. So we talk about resources. There are individual cloud services such as the virtual machines, the database, and the storage that use Azure. The database and the storage that use Azure. Hope you get what the resources mean to. A website, it could be a database, it could be a virtual machine. You just have to assign it to a resource group. It could be a virtual machine. You just have to assign it to a resource group. That's when after you must have created your resources on their Azure portal. So what are the resource groups? They say that they are the folders for organizing resources. Like I've already mentioned before, resources belong to only one group at a time. They can be moved between resource groups. And resource groups can be nested. Then the subscriptions, they are the billing and access management scope for Azure resources. And it links them to specific payment plan and usage limits. Then the Azure accounts. We say there is an access pass to Microsoft Cloud Services, and it allows you to use and manage tools and resources provided by Azure. The management group is an optional layer that can help you organize and control multiple subscriptions at once. Let's look at the architectural structure. And from this diagram, we see the way resources can be organized in this architectural structure. It allows for a structured and organized management approach. First of all, from this diagram, you see that the resources has to be under the resource groups, and the resource groups have to be under the subscription. The subscription have to be under the management group, and the management group have to be under the account entirely. That's when you create an account. Can you hear me?
Yes, please.
That's when you create an account.
Yes.
I don't have subscription. I would have showed you how it's being done. You first create an account. After creating an account, you create a management group. Under the management group, you have your subscription. And from the subscription, you have the resource groups, and then the resources come under each of them. So next, we talk about the Azure storage service provided by Azure, and it offers secure storage options for various types of data. And Azure storage platforms includes the following data services. We have the blobs, known as the binary large objects. We have the file storage. We have the queues. we have the tables, and we have the this. I will explain each of them now. Please, anyone, or maybe I'm too fast. You let me know. Hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So let me talk about does anyone know what an unstructured data is?
Like logs, data logs coming from the SIEM, something like that, raw data.
Is that?
Like raw data coming from a SIEM, like logs and stuff.
Okay. Unstructured data is like data that has no rows and columns. You know Excel. Have you used Excel before? You've used Excel, right?
Yes.
Excel, in Excel, we have rows and columns. What are you saying?
I said data that has not been organized into any specific format.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't come with that kind of format. Just like if you're looking at this Azure Blob Storage, we'll see example, we mentioned images, videos, backups. The data are not being structured. Just like in Excel, you have rows and columns. Each columns, they have data under them. They are being organized, but this one is not being organized. Do you get it?
Hello?
Do you get it?
Yes.
Can I say class will end?
Yes, we get it.
Class will end.
Please, can you mute your mic if you're not speaking? We also have the Azure file storage, and the Azure file storage, it provides organized file spaces in the cloud that can be easily accessed from various devices, including both cloud and on-premise systems. And it provides fully managed file shares. We also have the one of asynchronous messaging between applications. I don't know if you understand that word, asynchronous messaging. Let me give an instance. Let's say maybe there's a Black Friday coming up, and many people, and let's say we have we are and in this infrastructure as a service, it provides full control over these virtualized servers where you can install and manage your applications just like your own physical computer. And the virtual machines allow businesses to run Windows or Linux servers in the cloud. Then we have the platform as a service, which is managed environments where Azure handles the infrastructure. So you can focus on developing your own applications. You don't need to worry, just develop your applications. Example is hosting your web applications, mobile backends, and APIs without worrying about managing the servers. Then we have the serverless computing, where you run your application only when triggered. It scales automatically without needing to manage your infrastructure. An example is the Azure functions, where you execute your codes in response to events. So we have the Azure networking services. We say that when we talk about networking, what do you understand by networking? Any idea? Can you hear me? Am I too fast?
Yes, we are hearing you. We can hear you.
Okay. So we have in Azure networking service, we have the Azure Virtual Network. And Azure Virtual Network is a secure private network in the cloud, like a company's internal Wi-Fi. It allows Azure resources to communicate safely. Then the Azure Gateway, which acts as a traffic manager, it distributes network and protects applications with a web application firewall, and it blocks cyber threats. Then we have the Azure Express Route. Azure Express Route is like a private highway that ensures fast and secure data transfer. Next, we talk about the Azure identity and access control. So Azure provides identity and access control, and it works like a security system that ensures that only the right people can enter and use the resources. It manages the user identities and control access to protect data and application. The first we have is the Azure directory. What do you understand by Azure directory? Does anyone know? See? Does anyone have any idea about the Azure directory? Okay, Kunle. Kunle, go on.
I don't know for Azure, but I know a little about Active Directory. So I think they are both interrelated or something.
Okay.
So for Active Directory, or let's say Azure Directory, it's a list of it's a device or like a platform that helps you manage all your staffs and their assets. So it's synchronized with each other. And let's say you have some staffs that are not on-premise, you can still manage their access to your resources or your cloud devices. So the directory helps you have an holistic view of it, and you can assign roles and
that's fantastic. Are you into networking? Or you're a developer? Okay, keep it up. That's fantastic. Okay, so you've already mentioned it and you got it. It verifies every user before granting the access to the Azure services. The next is the Active Directory. And the Active Directory, it has extra security, like needing both a password and a fingerprint to unlock a phone. Then Azure also assigns permission based on roles. Okay, they assign permission based on specific roles, and this ensures that users only access what they need, just like employees having keys only to their own office. Then we have the one of conditional access. In conditional access, you decide access based on condition like location, device, or login behavior. And it's similar to allowing entry only during work hours. Another identity and access control we'll talk about is the Azure permission model. An Azure permission model is like giving keys to different rooms in a building, ensuring people access only what they need. It uses role-based access control to assign specific permissions to users based on their roles, just like a manager has more access than an intern. Azure assigns different roles to control what actions users can take. It also uses least privileged access, like giving someone access only to their own office and not the entire building. Users get the minimum permissions needed to their job, and this reduces security risk. Okay, so the final one we'll talk about is the cloud security in Azure. And Azure cloud security is like having multiple layers of protection for your data and applications in the cloud, just as you lock your house with doors, windows, and security cameras. Azure uses different security measures to keep hackers and unauthorized users out, just like a password or fingerprint unlocks your phone. Azure also uses tools like multi-factor authentication to ensure that only the right people have access. So the next one we'll talk about is Microsoft Azure management and governance. And management and governance in Azure is about maintaining business applications and the resources to support them. To do this, we can differentiate the following 4 broad uses for management and governance in Azure. Number one is the cost management. The second one, we have the policy and standard implementation. We have the resource management, and finally, we have the monitoring. All this for management and governance. The next one we'll talk about is cost management and governance. Okay. Azure allows renting resources and services instead of building infrastructure with pay-as-you-go pricing model. That means you have to only pay for what you use, and the cost depends on the service you use. And the third-party services from Azure Marketplace have additional costs. Let's look at the cost management tools. We have the pricing calculator, which we use to estimate cost of a specific resource configuration in Azure. We have the TCO. TCO stands for total cost of ownership. You compare total cost of on-premises infrastructure with the same configuration in Azure Cloud. We have the cost management, which provides users with insights and controls to monitor, analyze, and optimize costs. So next, we talk about the governance and compliance implementation. And Microsoft, as the cloud provider, is also responsible for ensuring that the data can safely be stored in the cloud when using the Azure cloud. And the Service Trust Portal serves as a repository where Microsoft details its security, privacy, and compliance practices, in addition to documenting Microsoft's own controls and processes for data protection and privacy. The Service Trust provides resources and documentation for us to manage compliance and data security. And this documentation includes specific certifications like the International Organization for Standards, as the ISO, and the GDPR, which stands for General Data Protection Regulation. We also have the Microsoft Purview, and this Microsoft Purview is a comprehensive data management service for Azure and other Microsoft products. It combines what was previously Azure Preview and Microsoft 365 compliance. And the purpose of this Microsoft Purview is to assist you with managing your data assets, specifically data security, data governance, and data risk and compliance. The next we have is Microsoft Purview Compliance Manager. And this Microsoft Purview Compliance Manager offers a tool for assessing compliance of data assets with specific regulations and standards. The Compliance Manager also shows a dashboard that reviews the current compliance status of all your data sets. And it also uses a scoring system to summarize overall compliance. We'll now look at the governance and compliance tools. There are two specific tools for the governance and compliance. We have the Azure Policy and Azure Blueprints. The Azure Policy is used to set policies, specific sets of rules and standards for resources. And it is done to enforce compliance with applicable standards and regulations. For example, a policy could be applied to a specific resource or to a specific resource group, whereby new resources created in this group would automatically take on the same policy. And Azure Policy not only allows you to set these rules, but also allows for automatic remediation. For example, if required resource tags are missing, they can be applied automatically. Next, we have the blueprint. And a lot in the context of governance and compliance is Azure Blueprints, which allows you to standardize new cloud subscription or deployment of resource environments. Let's look at the interacting with Azure environments. Is there anyone you understanding among all these tools here listed here? Anyone? Hope you can see my screen and you can hear me.
Yes, yes.
Maybe possible.
Okay. Is there anyone you understand amongst these tools for interacting with Azure? Is anyone raising his or her hand? Okay. We've already explained what an Azure portal is. And we said that is Azure's main graphical user interface. And it is the way most users will use to interact with Azure. Without the Azure portal, you cannot interact with Azure products or the interface or the dashboard. Next, we have the PowerShell. We all know what a PowerShell and command line interface is now, because everyone has it in his or her own system. Hope you know what a PowerShell and command line interface is.
Yes.
Yeah. Well.
Okay. So what do you use it for?
Yes, we do. Command
what
line.
do you use it for?
Interpreting, or it's different.
Sir?
Also for terminal, right?
Okay, Kunle, your hand is raised up.
Okay, I wanted to say yes, I know the two.
Okay. So what do you use it for?
So command line interface.
Yes.
Command line interface. In Linux, we use command line interface to navigate and also to execute some bash script, for instance. Yeah. So, but for PowerShell is for Windows, and Windows, that is Windows' own command line interface. So they also use it to navigate and also to you do some automations as well.
Yes, yes. And it's also an easier shortcut instead of using the graphical user interface.
So CLI, command line interface, instead of using like graphical interface, so you can use text. You can interact with the computer using text.
Yes.
Like in command prompt and stuff. So instead of using graphical user interface, you can use like a text-wise something.
Yeah. It makes it easier to navigate for navigation, as Kunle said so. Mr. John Paul, over to you.
Okay. Okay, thank you. I actually want to say the command line interface is a general term used for command prompts, PowerShell, and terminal. Linux and Mac use terminal, while Windows uses command prompt and PowerShell.
Yeah. Okay. And both serve the same purpose.
Yes,
use both for navigation.
Yes. They have their different commands.
Yeah, they have different commands, but they serve the same purpose. You use both for navigation. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. So the final one now, okay, we'll talk about the Azure Arc. And this Azure Arc is used in Azure to connect to external resources. It's used mostly by the IT team. While the Azure Mobile is used to manage and monitor resources on the go, and anyone can use the Azure Mobile. And we know that this in the portal, anyone can use the Azure portal. While the PowerShell is only the IT team that can make use of it. And in the Azure Mobile, anyone too can make use of it. So we'll move over to Azure Resource Manager. I think this is the last slide. For resource management, you use Azure Resource Manager to task for like creating, updating resources and deleting resources, and to also handle things like access control and resource properties. And Azure Resource Manager has two important features that assist in this task. We have the resource providers and templates. Resource provider supports Azure Resource Manager by supplying and managing a specific type of resources. For example, we have the virtual machines. Microsoft.compute is the resource provider. We have Azure Resource Manager templates. When creating resources or resource group, often the same or a similar configuration is needed for different projects. To help with this, the Azure Resource Manager provides templates. And with this, you can reuse a specific resource configuration, which means you can combine them for more complex deployments. Okay, I think this one is the last. Azure also have Azure Monitor, and is the all-in platform for monitoring the Azure. When you set up monitoring processes, you typically use the following workflow. First, you look up or track the necessary data by data collection, like memory usage of a virtual machine. Secondly, you can use Azure Monitor to analyze and visualize this data. For example, tracking your memory usage peaks in the last month. Finally, you can set up proactive monitoring and alerts to prevent or automatically handle new issues, like setting up an alert if there is any new memory usage peaks. So we've come to the end of today's session. Do you have any question? Or should I ask? Okay, Mr. Kule. Your hand is raised.
Yes, thank you. I wanted to ask about the Azure Monitor function. Does it also serve as the IDS or the IPS? Can we use it as IDS and IPS?
Monitor.
Yeah.
I think
intrusion detection services and intrusion
prevention. Yeah, I know. Okay, your question is, come again.
My question is, can we also use the Azure Monitor system as the IPS for IPS or IDS?
Azure Monitor is used to monitor the events. You know, IPS and IDS. IDS is used to detect incidents. Do you get it?
Yes, I do.
And Azure Monitor is used to monitor events. So you can't use it.
Okay, so what you're saying is like Azure Monitor only monitors the events on your virtual machine or your services.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So okay, I get it.
Okay. So, Mr. Gaddafi.
Okay, thank you, Chide, for good presentation. The one questions regarding cloud deployment model. I need to understand which kind of cloud deployment model is very secure for against a data breach or other security risk.
Sorry, I can't hear you well.
What you said? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can't really hear you clear. Can you please write it on the chat
I need to understand which kind of deployment model are very secure than other.
Okay, is the private model. The private model is more secure than the public
How about
cloud
the
model.
hybrid cloud?
Is that?
How about the hybrid?
The hybrid now. The private cloud is more secure than others because it's made specifically for one organization. Unlike hybrid, hybrid is a combination of both the public cloud and the private. And the public cloud, everyone can make use of the resources. Do you get it?
Yes, I get it.
Yes,
Thank you.
but the private is just private for you and your organization. Does anyone have any other question? Okay, Mr. Kunle.
I think, hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello. Yeah,
yes,
there's a question that somebody please. There's a question on the chat box, which I actually want to ask also.
Okay.
When you are talking about
sorry, let me get to the chat box. I didn't see it.
Yes. What is the difference between hybrid and multi-cloud under that model? What is the difference between hybrid and multi-cloud?
Okay. Hybrid is a combination of both the private cloud and the public cloud. Do you get it?
Yes. What about the multi-cloud?
Okay. The both looks familiar, but there is a difference between the both. The multi-cloud is a combination of multiple cloud services, like you are making use of AWS, you are making use of Google Cloud platform. You know Google Cloud now. Google Cloud is also a service provider. As in, you're making in multi-cloud, you're making use of different cloud providers. While in hybrid, you're making use of different cloud deployment models. Do you get it? Should I come again?
Yes, thank you.
Is it clear? I should come again. Okay.
It's clear. It's clear.
Okay.
Please, Ma, can you come again? I didn't get it.
Okay. I said in hybrid cloud, in hybrid cloud, yes. You make use of different deployment models. Like is a combination of both private and public cloud. Why in multi-cloud, you make use of different cloud providers. You make use of Microsoft Azure, you make use of AWS, you make use of Google Cloud provider. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay.
Hello. And how? Yes.
All right.
And hybrid.
Thank you very much, Debere. I was actually struggling.
Hello.
Who is talking? Who's talking? Wait.
Please go ahead. Somebody was saying something.
Hybrid can also mean that I have a legacy or a on-site server that I'm using, and it hosts a lot of my applications that I don't, with a lot of sensitive data that I don't want to migrate to the AWS or cloud. So I'm using part of it as a legacy, then and part of processing my other applications on the cloud. So that one also can be referred to as hybrid.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. That's the difference.
Okay. Thank you for the addition. Mr. Evanda, do you have any question?
Yes, good morning. My question is that, most cloud service provider, they provide some free accounts on how to.
Yes, there's a.
So is there
Microsoft Azure have free
demo
accounts
to show us how to
get
this free account and things like that?
In the second session, my colleague will take you through the practical aspect of it.
Okay.
Yes, this one is just the theoretical part. So it's after the break. I don't know whether it's like he's taking it now, Cha. Just do well to join. He will guide you through. Like this Microsoft Azure, there is a free account, I think it lasts for 12 months. Of which after the 12 months, they will ask you if you want to pay for the next subscription. Mr. Kunle, do you have any question?
Yes, I have a question.
Okay.
So, in choosing a cloud provider,
okay.
I think you made mention of what's it called? Location, that's a region-based and cloud availability.
Yes.
So let's say, for instance, I want to start a company now, and I need a clouds provider. Which one would you recommend based on our location in Nigeria?
You can use anyone. They are worldwide.
That's
why I said their data centers are located globally, worldwide. Globally, which is worldwide. You can use anyone. You can use anyone.
So yeah. Which one is more robust?
That one I don't know.
Which one do you think in your own words?
I don't know, but the one most people use is mostly Microsoft Azure. Like other ones are okay. Other ones are good.
And which one are easier to learn, rather, like easier to work with as an IT person?
All of them are easier. Don't worry. When after this, it will still my colleagues will still take you on AWS. Maybe after the session, you will now compare and contrast.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other question? Okay. In the absence of no other question, I'll call on Mr. Hafiz Salisu.
All right. Thank you very much, Chidebere. Thank you. Thank you so much. Kindly confirm if you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
I mean, nobody. Yes.
Please, this is Priscilla. Actually, I want to say something.
Yes,
Everybody has been saying the attendance link. The attendance link is in the chat box. So I noticed there was an error with the first one that was shared. So I shared it again. So I'm going to paste it again. I'm going to paste the attendance link again so we can be able to have access to the edited link. So yeah. All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Hafiz.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you. So please check and look out for it. She says she's going to post it again, so you can always have access to it and then put in your details. Please remember to put in your correct email address. Like I said, some of the challenges we had before was that people put their wrong email address and then they come back to us to say, oh, we never got the email, we never got any document and all of that. So because they wrongly inserted their email address. Sometimes people put in their email address and then put space in between. You and I know that there's no way that email address will actively take in any material or anything. So please be watchful and then put in the correct details so that you get the document that will be sent across. Once again, thank you very much, Chidebere. That was an awesome one. Nobody could do it better. It was very, very insightful, and of course, I know that you're able to also drive the point home as it is. So thank you very much once again. Usually we would have accommodated break, but because this is also going to be a short time for today, so we're going.
Hello, Mr. Hafiz. Are you there? Okay.
Yes, apologies. A call came through and distorted my internet.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Am I audible now? Yeah, sorry, a call came through and distorted my internet. Yeah, so please let's welcome Mr. Ineolua, who will also take the next session, which will probably be in an hour or less, hopefully to cover his own bits for today. Once again, it's just going to be a short session, and then we're able to drive the point home as it is. So, Mr. Inu, if you're ready, we'll hand over to you to just quickly run us through a few things, and then we're able to draw the curtain on this. Thank you very much, Mr. Inu. If you're ready, over to you, sir.
All right, thank you, sir, Mr. Hafiz. Good afternoon.
You're welcome.
I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
After this session, the second session, are we going to
Hello, good
fill
afternoon.
another
Can you hear me?
Are we going to fill another attendance after the session?
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
Please, can you hear me?
Please, I didn't get your question.
Are we going we fill an attendance the first session? Are we going to fill another one the second session?
No, just one attendance, please.
Okay, thank you.
I'm audible enough and
It's one
Alright,
attendance.
I hope I'm audible
Please
enough.
don't
Good
say
afternoon.
because of the fact that you already filled for the first session you want to leave. Stay so that everything that consultant Chidi taught us, we can be able to look at it from the practical standpoint. So yes, that's it. You can go ahead.
Okay. Can I go ahead now?
Yes, please, you can.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. I believe it has been a wonderful section since 10 o'clock, and I believe we've gained one or two things. Hope I'm audible enough and you can hear me loud and clear.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. So my colleague has already walked us through what cloud computing is, and specifically we focus on Azure as a cloud. Before I go into the demo section, I will which of the cloud. I hope I'm still audible, please.
Your line is breaking. Your line is
okay.
breaking.
Network is
Okay,
shaky.
give me a minute, please. Hello, but now hope it's better. Hello, hope it's better now.
It's better now. Yes,
All right.
yeah.
Thank you. All right, thank you. So yeah, so I said I will start with the question someone asked about when it comes to adopting cloud service providers, which one is the best? So just like my colleague answered, when it comes to cloud service, it depends on your own interest. You are going to compare which is which that you like to go along with. But when it comes to market share, we notice that AWS is the largest cloud service provider out there with a market share of about 47%, and while Azure is the second largest with a market share of around 15 point something percent. So majorly, and he also asks about which one is more easier to work with. I will say to you that you can go with anyone, or whether it is AWS. But then I will also ask you, it depends on the location you have. If you are in Nigeria, I will tell you that I will advise you to go for AWS as a starter if you are trying out platform booting. But aside that, all the cloud service provider are okay, and it just depends on your own preference. So with that, let's just go into the aspect of the demo. So I believe most of us have been asking, how do we go about creating our Azure account? So give me a minute to share my screen. And sorry. Yeah, I hope my screen is visible. I hope my screen is visible.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. So if you want to, since all right, thank you. So for starting out, you need to get an and to go for an Azure account. Apologies, I don't know why my network keeps logging me out. Yeah. So just go on your browser. For anybody, just press Azure.
I'm not seeing your screen. No.
You can't see my screen. Is it the same for everybody?
Yes, sir.
I can see your screen.
I can see your screen. I can see your screen.
Is it the same?
I can see your screen. Okay, it has
all right,
come.
thank you. So all right, so you okay, go to your browser and click on type azure.com on your browser, or you can type Azure free accounts, anyone. So with that, you get started. Click on get started. So by the time you click on get started, you see the trial version, which is try Azure for free. So I hope you are following along.
Come again, please.
Yeah. Yes.
Slow down, please.
Yeah, so let's start over again. So azure.com. So by the time you this apologies for my net. I'm going to take you to either if you want to try out Azure or you want to do pay as you go. Yeah. So just like I explained now, get started. So is anybody following me?
Please, slow.
Yes,
please.
I'm slowing down.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, I'm slow already. That's why I'm going step at a time. So you can see after that, you can see this page that says try Azure for free. You click on that. Yeah. So now you are going to create accounts. Are you here with me? If you don't have an account, you can input it in here. I hope that is gotten. Hello. Is anybody still with me?
We are with you.
We are with you, but
okay.
Your network is breaking.
Please, you sign in. Yeah. So I have an account that I want to use already, which is I have an article account which I want to use already. So you are signing in with that. Is anyone? Hello? Hello?
Yeah, we are waiting for you. We are online. We are waiting.
Okay, thank you. So, okay. Can you see now? Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, but your
Yes,
network
we
is
can hear
very,
you. We
your
lost
network
you
is
for
very.
some time.
Okay. So, you got it to the point whereby you have to input an email if you have an existing email or you create new one, right? You got me to that point.
Your screen is stuck.
Okay, let me share again. Hope you can see my screen now. Right? Hello,
Yes,
I would like to get thank
Yes.
you. Yeah. So right. Thank you. The thing about it is I've already tried creating an account prior to this email address. And also for one of the benefits is you can register on Azure.
It's
You can register
asking
on
for
Azure
company
with Nigerian
ID.
bank accounts. Yes. That's
How
what
do we
I'm trying
put in
to
the
say.
company ID?
So for the company ID, you know what? Let me create a new account and we start from scratch so that you see it's how it plays out. You get me?
Okay.
All right. So as I was saying that for us that are in Nigeria, we have an issue. We have an issue with our bank account because you can't use a Nigerian card to sign up on Azure. You need a dollar card to do that. But yeah, I assure you, you can try out your bank account if it will work. But if not, you also need to get a dollar account before you can sign. But it was okay prior to this moment. So give me some minutes for. Because of our time, hello, can you hear me? Because of our time, I think I can for creating the accounts, and let me just go ahead with the existing account I already have because it's actually taking longer than necessary. I hope that is okay with you.
Yes, please.
So I can do a demo and send to the group later for creating of a network. So I don't want us to take longer than necessary on this call. So let me just proceed with the existing account I already have at. I will do that and send to the group. So I hope my Azure portal is clear and visible to everyone now.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
Yes. So I'm logging into Azure portal. By the time you log into Azure portal, if you want to log into Azure portal, even for a start for the free accounts, you need to get a dollar account before you can get access to that. So, but on your logging in to the account, what you are going to, on the norms, it depends on the way you set it. What you are going to see first will be this interface. Will be what you see, which is the quick start as at first. Immediately you log in onto your platform, but then you can come over here to this three equals to sign, this three horizontal sign, and then once you click on home, you can see you have something of this nature. You have something of this nature. So for the interface, this is the landing page of Azure platform, and then by the time you click on this three icon, three equals to, just like I did the other time, you can see a list of icons that can assist you to navigate through the platform. So you have your home icon, you have create a resource, you have your home icon, you have your dashboard, you have all services. If you want to see the different services that are available on Azure, and the icon, you have access to icon, you have access to virtual machine if you want to create directly without going to having to go to all resources, going to compute. I can access most database. You have also for easy access here, and also the monitor and the advisor. You also have the costing management also for easy access. But since I'm a free account for now and I've not developed or deployed much, so you will not see anything under when it comes to the cost of the services or resources that have been running for a while. So going back to the home page, you can see, just like I was talking about, that by the time you log in at first, you are going to have to create a new email address, or you use an existing email which you already have already. So to my right hand side, I hope I'm still audible and the network is better.
Yes, go ahead.
All right.
Yes.
All right. So,
yes, we can hear.
At my own hand, I don't know if it is the same with you. You can see where my cursor. You can see where my cursor is. So by the time you, okay, thank you. If you click on that, you can see the accounts which you are. If you want to switch to different, I can decide to switch to anyone that I want. So also towards after the email section, you will see this feedback icon. You see this feedback icon. So here is where you see if you click on this feedback icon, this is where you can give feedback to the Azure portal team. So, and by the time you input your feedback, your experience, maybe using the Azure platform, for instance, where I said we that are in Nigeria, we can't have access to Azure platform with our normal bank accounts. So it might be maybe you want to give them feedback on that. So you can input that here, and they will listen, they will check through, and also try to improve the experience with whatever response you have given. So next to that icon, you are going to see a question mark icon that has a question mark inside it, the next icon. So from this icon, this is where you can get information on any issues that might be impacting the availability of Azure resources globally. You can get that from here. And also, you can also see as part of the things you can have access to here, you can see the to view billing FAQ. That is a questions that you might want to ask people, maybe the Azure community, and also you can from also here you can also explore Azure documentations also from this angle. So next to that icon, you see the gear icon, which is the settings, and from here, that's where you can customize your Azure platform to suit what you want or what you like, from customizing it when it comes to the aspect of what we call the maybe you want it to be dark screen or light screen, to what you're saying to be in English. Also, this is where you do all the customizations of that. So moving to after that particular, you can see on the next you have a notification of recent changes or recent when it comes to your subscription. It's also assists you to be able to know what it is, whatever resources you've deployed, to help you manage and to know the amount. As for the free account, you are going to be given a $2 credit as at the time you register. So you can still see mine is still intact for now from this notification page. So next to that, which is more like the last, is the one my colleague spoke to you about when she talked about the command line interface. So you can see, and I believe the other time, so clicking on it, that's why, because this I've not used this account prior to now. That's why you can see it's asking me to create, is it a Linux one? So I'm going to go with Bash. But if I'm going to work with Windows, I'm going to go with a PowerShell. So that's just that about that. So from there, also you can see the search icon. This is just to take you and get your link from the icon. Also, if I want to access any resources, instead of going through this place and start searching, I can just click here and search for let me see, virtual machine. So from here, that I want to make use of on the Azure platform, and also of some services that over time I've used or have worked on. That's why you can see them here. You can see recently I click on the cost management, I click on the quick starts, I click on virtual machine. So that's what you have here. And also you can see this resources section. This is where anything you worked on, anything you access, this is where it's going to be listed. And you have the navigation icon to help you navigate through the Azure platform, going to the subscription, the group, and and also you have the tool for managing the Azure platform. I hope that is understood, and you grab a hold of how to navigate the Azure platform. Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you. We are around.
Okay,
Hello,
but do
we are
you
with
get
you.
do you get how to navigate the landing page, the Azure platform?
Yes.
We are with you.
Okay, so
Where is
now
happy?
so now let's move to that's just to get us acquainted with the Azure platform. So now let's go ahead and let's go ahead now. Let's go ahead and create a virtual. Let's create a virtual machine on the Azure platform. So you can see where I come to this place, and straightforward I accessed my virtual machine. But on the norms, I can go through this place, going to all resources, coming to category, coming to compute, or I can just search it out here on this search bar. So with that, let me go back to my virtual machine. So at the start, by the time you create your account, this is how it's going to look like, because we do not have any existing server deployed presently. So for us to go about creating our own virtual machine, and I believe during the course of the theoretical aspect, my colleague already walked you through when it comes to the different service model that we have. We have the iPaaS, we have the PaaS, we have the LaaS, and we have the SaaS. So, and she has already given us an example of LaaS to be the VMware that we have, which is the virtual machine, and also the likes of for AWS, we have AWS, we have it is called EC2 E3 instance. That's what theirs is. So EC2 instance, rather, apologies for that. So to now create our own, we come to this. You can see this create icon, right?
Yes.
Okay, so click on the create icon, and by the time you click on the create icon, you see it's going to give you a list of options to pick from, whether you are going for the Azure virtual machine or Azure virtual machine with preset configuration. But for this, you need to have like a paid account to access. But for the reason that we are using a free account, we are going to go with the first one, which is the Azure virtual machine. So by the time you click on that, you click on create, click on Azure virtual machine, you are going to come to this interface here. We are trying to create and deploy our own virtual machine. That's what we are trying to do on Azure platform. So by the time you come to this interface, you can see the headings that we have here. You have the basic, you have the disks, networking, management, monitoring, advanced tag, and after we've done that. So basically, I just see cloud infrastructure more as a giant computer. There is no difference between the Azure platform, the cloud provider platform, and your normal hardware that you have with your system. The only thing is, because you don't want to go to the stress of going to markets to purchase hardware, that's why you are looking for a more seamless way of achieving this by going to the cloud platform to tell them that, okay, I want to rent this also things from you. And for you to rent also, you have to know, okay, what specification are you looking for? Just like if you are going to market to purchase your system, you are going to be looking at it. Am I looking for maybe a Core i5, or maybe a system with 16 gig RAM or 8 gig RAM, or this also disk space? Am I looking for SSD or HDD when it comes to the disk drive? So all those things also you have to have before coming here. You also have that in mind, that okay, what is it? What do you require? What are the specifications that you are looking for? Please, you can mute your mic if it's not a question, sir.
You want to sleep? Come and sleep. Then go and play with Happy. That is learning.
I want to come and lie beside Daddy.
Daddy, please, we can hear you. Oh. Daddy, please help us mute your mic. Thank you, sir. Ini, you can please go ahead. Ini, if you are speaking, we can't hear you in case you are speaking.
Apologies. Sorry, I didn't know my mic was muted. Sorry. So, okay. Am I audible now?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Thank you. So, I hope you grab everything I've said. So, I'm trying to talk about the specification. We have to specify what it is that we want to get, what we plan to rent. Our specification, are we looking for so big size, or when it comes to the gig RAM, what is it that we are looking for? So that's just what I've said during the course of when my mic was muted. So now you can see for the subscription, I only have one subscription account here. That's why you can see only this one. If I have other tenant or other directory here, it might also it will also come out here, but then I have only one here. That is why this is already there by default. So when you now come to can remember the other time when my colleague was explaining to you about resource and the resource group. So technically, please, am I still audible?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So for the resource and the resource group, now take a resource group more like for people that are familiar with Windows system, Let's talk about you are familiar with what we call folder. So a resource group is more like a folder, whereby a resource is more like a file. So your file, you keep your file inside your folder. And for those people that use Linux, we talked about a directory. So that's the same thing that happens here. So we are going to create a resource group by saying that, okay, specify where do we want what the virtual machine want to create, where do we want it? Because you can have different, like you can have on your phone or on your system, different folder speaking to different things. So also you have to specify where do you want that particular resource that you want to create, where do you want it located. So I have two already existing resource group here, which is the VM resource group and network watch resource group. But then if I want to create a new one, all I just need to do is click on create new, and I'm going to type whatever it is, the new name of the resource group that I want to create. I will just type it here and okay, it does that. But then I'm going to go with the one I already have created, which is the VM resource group. So coming here, we are going to give which is, you can see the instance detail. It's asking us what name do you want to give the instance that I want to create. So I'm going to go with the virtual machine let me see, SAT. Okay. So I'm going with that. So technically, you can see the region, and I believe because I had my colleague talking about it, talking about regions, talking about availability zones. So now it's you also that will now determine where do you want your resource to be hosted, which region do you want it. So you have different regions in here that you can pick from. So, but I'm going to go with what is already here. Now, for the availability zone, for the sake of this demo, because whatever resource I'm creating now, I'm still going to destroy it later. So I'm going to go. So you have the choice for the availability zone. You can pick availability zone. You can pick virtual machine scale set. anyone you can go along with, but I'm going to go with no infrastructure redundancy are required because this is a demo section. So I'm going to go with that. And also, when it comes to security type, we also have different security type that we can specify when it comes to creating our virtual machine. So you have the standard, you have the trusted launch virtual machine, you have the confidential, so you also have the confidential virtual machines, which is 3. So you can see a description of what each of these security type, what it implies. So for the standard, for the trusted, and for the confidential, but for this, I'm going with the standard because just like I said, you are the one going to purchase a system at the market. You have your own specification, you have things that you want to, that you believe you want to get. So that's what I'm going with. Standard, and for the sake of I'm on a free account, so I'm going with the standard. And also for the image, now when we want to, we know that these days if you want to download maybe you want to download an operating system to your phone and to your system, gonna those days whereby we use disks and the likes, so you go online to download what we call the ISO file for that particular software that you want to operating system that I want to install. So also here I have the choice of picking which operating system do I want to work with. Do I want my virtual machine to go on with? So you can see you have Windows, you have Ubuntu, you have Oracle, you have Linux, you have all this that you can see. So I'm going to go with, let me go with Windows 11 Pro version 2H. That is 64. I hope you are following me.
Yes, we are.
All right.
Yes.
Yes, we are.
Thank you. So any operating system that you want, that maybe if it is Linux, if it is anyone, just go with it. But I'm going with Windows operating system. So coming down, you can see automatically this has been checked because it said ARM64 is not supported with this selected image. So with this one has been selected by default. So run with Azure Sports discounts. You can decide to check, that's left for you, but I'm not going to check that. So now coming to the size now, just like I said the other time, do you want to go for 8 gig RAM, 16 gig RAM, or what's your specification? Now, so you can see we have one here already that is there by default, the recommended one. But then if you want to pick from anyone, depending, you can just click on see all sizes. So by the time I click on see all sizes, please, if you're not getting anything, you can let me know. Yeah, by the time you click on see all sizes, you can see we have a lot of virtual machine size that we can pick from, a lot here. But because of this is a demo section and we don't want us to be costed too much when it comes to the price, when it comes to our subscription. So you have to choose from any of these sizes that you have listed here. So you can see if you go with this first one, which is D2 ADS V5, which is a general purpose, the type is general purpose CPU that it has, which is 2. You can see the RAM, which is 8 gig. You can see the disks and the data disks, which is 4, and all this information. And you can see the cost per month. So by the time I pick this, at the end of the month, I'm going to charge this particular amount. So let me go with this first one. And then by the time I click on it, I'm going to click on select. So by the time you click on select, see, this is what I clicked on: 8 gig RAM memory, and also 2 CPUs and 4 when it comes to the disks. So you can decide to enable the hibernation, but I'm not going to do that. So we move to the next column, which is the administrator account. We're going to ask, okay, the administrator account, who is going to use it? So you are going to give it a username, give it a password, so that it's as we all know that when it comes to account creation, we are only preview to our password that we use. So I'm going to give the username to be, let's say, cloud admin. So that's the username I'm going to go along with. And for the password, so yeah, so yeah, so I've also input my password. I've also input my password. So coming to this section, which is the inbound ports rule. So you can either go with none. That is if at the top here, you've selected the rules by which you want your security type to be. But since my security type is standard, and also I'm going to allow a RDP port open connection, since I'm going with the since I'm going to with a Windows operating system, which is what I'm going with. So after that, I'm going to check this licensing aspect, and also I'm done with the basic area, which you can see listed above. So the next thing, I'm going to the disk. So now the disk is asking me, and it already award to me because of the free accounts. This encryption at host will not be checkable for me. So that is why. So for the disk size, you can see the disk size we have is 127 gigabytes. That is the disk size we have by default. You can decide to change it if you want, depending on the requirement of whatever you want to use that resource type, which is already by default. We have the premium SSD, but then you can also click and change to the specification you want based on what you are using that for. So we have the standard, we have the HD we have the standard SSD, we have the standard HDD, and we have the premium. So I'm going with the premium SSD, which is already there, which is locally redundant storage. So the delete with VMware, I want that to be checked. So for the key management, now you can decide to allow the key management to be platform managed, or you can decide for it to be that you as a customer, you're the one that manages it. But then I'm going to go with let the key platform. So that's about all I want to check and all I want to set when it comes to my configuration under the disk. I'm going next to the network segment of my instance. So already configured virtual network, you can decide to pick from here, but this is what I have already configured, and I'm going to go with the demo VNet network. If you want to create a new one, I can just click on create new one, and you can see from here you can set the settings of the new virtual network if you want to create. If you want to create a new one, so that is that about that. And the next one is the subnet, which the immediately you create here, they are going to award you. So by default, I have this subnet already stated here. And also for the public IP address, I can decide not to have any problem, to include any public IP address. It all depends. But then, if I want, maybe I have pre-configured ION public IP already before now. That's why you are seeing this here. But if I want new one, I can just go to create that's public address, public IP address, and look at the settings according to what you want. You set it and you press. I'm going to use what I've already used. I'm going to go with what I've already used. I have already configured, which is a VM Saturday IP address. So, and all these settings, basic, when it comes to NIC, it's basic, it's okay by me, the public inbound ports. So all these are there by default. You can change to what you like and what you want. And also coming to this section, which says delete public IP and the NC when VM is deleted. You can decide to check it, you can decide to leave it, but then I'm going to check that. I immediately delete my VMware, that everything be deleted along with it. So also enable accelerated network. That one is already checked by default, and I want it that
Please,
way.
what does, excuse me, what does this delete public IP mean? And NIC.
So technically, what this
What's the
means
implication of checking it? What's the implication of checking it?
So if I'm checking this, that means the public IP I set here. Are you getting me? Are you getting me? Hello? Hello?
I'm hearing you.
Am I still audible? So what I said here is anytime I delete my VMware, automatically all this information, which is when it comes to the network, the public network, the will be deleted along with it. I hope that is gotten. We'll see get to the aspect where I'm going to show you if you want to delete maybe the one I'm creating now. If I want to delete it, we get to aspect whereby it is going to be deleted. I hope that answers your question. Hello. So I'm going to proceed. So coming to the load balancing option, that is if you are dealing with trying to deploy an app, check any of these to add it to it, but then I don't have that, so I'm going to leave it as none. Next, I'm going to management, to the management console. So here, this is where I'm setting when it comes to managing the identity, assigning login this thing. So I'm going to check this enable system assign management manage identity. I'm going to check that. And also just like I said, it all depends on what you want to use that resource for and the specification you already have in mind before coming here. So also when it comes to auto shutdown, if you don't want your resource to, you can check that. For backup also, if you already have a backup configured somewhere for the sake of a redundancy. Remember when I was checking, when I was creating the basic page, I said I don't want redundancy, so I'm not going to check this backup. But for this auto shutdown, I'm going to check that. So you can see as at this time, my system and my resource is going to shut down itself automatically. So for the backup, if you want to start, you can just check that and set the rule. But this is a demo class. I'm going to destroy this later, so I'm not going to check it. But then, if you are working with a normal a resource that you want to use by yourself, it's better you check this right from here and you set the rules according to the way you want your backup to be, but I'm not going to check that. Disaster recovery, no. Even if I check it, it's not going to come up because I didn't enable it. I didn't enable it from the start. So with that, I move over to the monitoring section. So this monitoring section is where I can receive a lot of whatever is going on within my resource. So I can decide to check this, and I will configure my alert based on whatever requirements I want. For instance, you can see the rules here that I can say, okay, when the CPU is greater than this, so this thing, I should be alerted. When available memory byte is less than this, I should be. Also, all this information when it reaches 75%, do that. I'm not going to do that. So I'm not going to check that. I don't need that for now. Also, if you want monitoring information about your resources, also you can check, but I'm not going to do all that. So go to advanced. So this section is where you can run when it comes to maybe you have a particular script you want to execute, or you have a particular app you want to execute. So this is where you can push the metadata for that particular scripting. But then that's going to tagging. Tagging basically is talking about for each organization they must have already have that enable them to identify a particular resource, the date it was created, the name of the resource, and all those things. This is where that can be done. And after that, you click on. Now we are going to see in a summary all the things that we have, all the settings we've been setting. So now we can see we have an error here. It's telling us that validation failed. So on the basic slide, we have an error here. Okay. So it's telling me this virtual machine requires a subscription without any. Okay. So I think let me change Pacific Central. So let me change my region. Let me change what it is. Okay. So let me go back. You see what I did? Because of the free subscription I'm using, a lot of limitation to what I can achieve or what I can do when it comes to the configuration requirements and other things. That's why I received that on that aspect. So I'm going back to my review and curate. So give me a minute. So you can see now, I've already rectified the issue that I'm having. That means what the specification I have stated there in the basic normally, because of the region that I picked, and also because of the free account I'm using, is not capable of rendering that services for me. So that's why I have to change to what works. So you can see this is a summary of what everything I've input on that particular from the settings since we started, right from the basic to the disk size to the management and with this, these are all the information. I can decide to go back maybe after reviewing. No, maybe there's something I did do. I can go back to the previous. Okay.
Sorry, my hand is up. I want to ask you a question, please. So I saw that you changed the region. So my question is, how do we know? How do we know the right region to use?
Okay. So just like I said, you see, the region you use depends on you. And also, you also follow, if you are deploying for organization, for instance, you also have to put into consideration when it comes to regulatory requirements. There are some for some particular how will I say country, that they don't allow whatever resources that they have to be deployed in certain country. So all those information, all those things must be something you're already aware of, to now decide that, okay, I want to use this particular year. And it's always advisable that when you are deploying, you pick a region that is close to wherever it is that you have. I hope that is gotten.
Which I have a bit deeper understanding, because that means we need to make some findings to know the particular.
On the norms, are you getting me? On the norms, you are free to, since you are trying to register, like rent the virtual machine virtually, you are free, if you are okay that your resources, your information, your data be deployed or keep anywhere, you are free to use any let me go back to the basic section. You can see this region, and that is going to, you are free to go with whatever it is that suits you. There is nobody that, but then for best practice, it is advisable that you pick a region that is closer to the country where you are. Or also, if you are deploying for organization, also put into consideration, is there any rules or regulation that says that you cannot deploy your resources outside certain zone or certain region? I hope that is gotten. Hello, sir.
Okay, all right. All right,
so
thank you.
So those are the things you are going to put into consideration. But then, just like I said, this is a demo section, and I don't mind wherever it is. I can decide to change my region. This is India Central. I can decide to change it to East. That's East Asia. So let me go back to my settings. Let me reset my availability zone. I said no redundancy required. I don't need redundancy. So you can see that I've changed my region. And let me go back to okay, because of now, you can see now, because of the free account, look at the error it's already giving me. It's saying the selected image is not valid for the specific location. I hope that is gotten now. Select a different location. So those are factors you are going to look at, what it is that you're trying to achieve, and also, is there any regulation that prevents you from deploying or allowing your data to be deployed or keep in certain region? So those are the things you are going to. This error, there's no way I want to create virtual machine, because it's already telling me that this particular image, which is this operating system OS I've already picked, it's not valid for that particular location. So that will enable me to return back to is the Central India. I hope more clarity has been given now.
Yeah, it's clearer now. It's clearer. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. So this I've already done the other time. That's just to review what I've done. If there's going to be any error, or if I'm satisfied with whatever it is that I've created. So I'm just going to go with create. So because it will take like between 15 to 10, between 5 to 10 minutes, depending on the size of. So you can see it has taken away. You can see the notification telling that submitting deployment. So it will take maybe like 5 to 10 minutes before it's done deploying. So here now you can see deployment in progress. I can see, if I say deployment details, there's nothing yet that has been done yet, but it's still working on it. That's why we have this. So we give it some deployment to be done in detail. So you see, all these ones have been set. That's why they are deploying the virtual machine itself. So not to waste our time, we'll come back to that when it's done deploying, and we'll continue from there. So let me go to, we'll come back to that, but I don't want us to keep waiting and start monitoring it. Time is not bad. So I want to go to Azure, talk around the Azure pricing normally. So when it comes to virtual machine, Azure virtual machine pricing, so we have what we call Azure pricing calculator that enable us, that assist us to calculate whatever it is, what would be the amount of whatever resource we want to pay as you go. It is what you use that you'll be charged on. And also, I believe that your subscription, there is a certain amount of subscription that you will have at a particular time. So how do you ensure that, okay, maybe you have a $200 subscription free, for instance, now, and you are planning on deploying like 10 virtual machines. You have to first run the cost to know that, okay, will the $200 be sufficient enough for the all resources you want? We all know. We also have what we call the reserved instances. We also have what we call the sports instances. So that is 3 type of a pricing model that exists, that we have. So the pay as you go is maybe what resources you use. I want to use a particular resource for maybe a month or thereabouts. So that's pay as you go. I'm going to charge based on that. Now, for the reserved instances, I already agree with I'm telling Azure that, okay, I want to use this resource for maybe the next 1 or 3 years. So that in that case, maybe I want to host, I have a website I want to host on the virtual machine I've already created, or a database. So that is when we talk about the reserved instances and the sports instances. So that comes up when maybe whatever resource I want to use, we have a workflow that is what we call it can be interrupted maybe for an hour, and after that I'm shutting down. So those are the different type of pricing model that we have. So let me just go to, so to do that, to use the pricing calculator, just press Azure. Okay, I think it's already here. So come here online, you can see the pricing calculator. You click on that. Let me see if our virtual machine is done. Okay. Is it the same for everybody?
I can see your screen here.
Hello?
Yeah,
I can see your screen.
Okay, thank you.
I can see it.
Okay, our virtual machine is done. You can see your deployment is complete. So, but before we go back to that, let me done with this pricing calculator so that we can round up with that when we start. So you can see I just typed it on Google, and it brought me to the link where I click to get here. So pending when that is still loading, let me go back to my to our deployment then. Pending when that is still loading. So you can see now we are done with the deployment we've done. So the next thing is just what we click on go to resources. Now, if you remember the other time, I told you about this notification. You can see there's already a notification about this particular action that I've done. Please, is it the same for everybody?
I'm actually seeing your screen.
Let me stop sharing and share again. Let me stop and share again.
Thank you.
Give me a minute. How about now? Can you see it now? Is it visible now?
Yes.
Invisible.
Is it visible now?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Hello, I would like to get your response. Is it visible now?
We are responding. Yes.
It's visible.
All right, thank you. All right, thank you. Yeah, so you can see when it was done, when our virtual machine was done deploying, I will click on go to resource. So this is what we've done. Give me a minute to minimize this. Yeah, so this is what we've done. You can see all the information of the resource that we just created, the virtual machine we just created. You can see the resource group, which is our VM resource group. That's what I picked the other time. You can see the status, it is running. You can see the location, Central India. You can see the subscription, which is Azure subscription one. All those things we saw the other time that we inputted. You can see the subscription ID, and we can see the operating system. Just the same thing that is applicable to your system. By the time you go under your system about all those information, this is what we have here. You can see operating system. This is what we picked. Windows operating system, and we can see the size that we have. When it comes to the CPU, when it comes to the RAM, we can see it. And also we can see the public IP address. We can see all this information. These ones are not set. The DNS is not set. The status, we don't need it. And we can see the date of creation, which is today, and that is 11:21 UTC. And also we can see further information below, which is under the properties. We can see the monitoring. If you want to get information on the monitoring settings, you can see for now, no issues. You can see capability, recommendations, and all those things. So that's what, this is the configuration of our virtual machine that we have deployed presently. And then, as you can see, the status is running. So now let's copy this IP address and let's try to connect to this. So let me copy this, and I come to my search bar. Oh, okay, you'll not be able to see my entire screen. Okay, let me do this. Give me a minute. Can you see my screen? I hope you can see my entire screen now.
Yes, yes.
Yes. So you can see now. So what I did was I copied this public address, IP address. I'm trying to see, let's try and connect with this virtual machine that we've created on Azure. Let's try and connect it with it on our system. Are you trying to say something, sir? So I'm going to go to type under this search. I'm going to type MSTSC. And so this so I'm going to paste that, and I'm going to connect. Yeah, so what was our username for this virtual machine that we deployed? That was, I think, okay, I believe it's cloud admin.
Cloud admin.
Cloud admin. So my password, so okay. Yeah. I'm trying to connect to it on our own desktop, what we did on Azure. So I'm trying to do that. Connect to it from my desktop. So it's still in section. Okay, I think it's up. I believe it's up. Okay. Check things, which is I'm going to check this. Yes. Now you can see I'm accessing on my Azure platform, accessing it on my desktop through. So this shows that what I've done is actually working. So you can navigate to get information it is that you want to get. Also to look at when it comes to the dashboard, that's where we just left. Comes to the local server, all those information we just checked on that on the Azure platform. You can see the same thing is here, and also just navigate as much as you want. So that's just that about that. About connecting to sorry, a minute. So that's just that about connecting to what we already have deployed on the Azure platform. So that's that about the virtual machine that which is a rented resource with to restart my resource. I can decide to stop it. I can decide to just like I said the other time, when I was setting that immediately I delete my VM, that also the public IP also should be deleted with it. So if I decide to delete, I can delete. Just like your system, your normal system, if you want to refresh, maybe you see that maybe due to some issues, the thing is lagging, you can decide to refresh, and that's about that. So with that, I can go back to my home. What I just created now. If I want to create another virtual machine, but I'm not creating another one. I'm just trying to. So now, this is what the virtual machine that we create. This is the name. You can see this is the information about it, and you can see the status is still running. If I that one, I'll just come here and create a new one. Now, talking about maybe I want to retire this now, just like I said, that for demo section. So you can see all what I just told you about the refresh, the open restart, stop. If I want to stop it because it's still running now, I can decide to click on it, and you see that the status will change from running to stopped. And also, if I want to retire it, I can delete it entirely. So that's just that about creating. That's just that about creating virtual machine on Azure. So coming to the pricing that I was talking about the other time, it's done loading. So I just click on this estimate of the virtual machine. Like I said, I have $200 subscription on my account, and I want to create like 10 or 15 resources, which is virtual machine. So I'm going to check this ad. By the time I click on this ad estimates, it's loading, and I'll just click on this view. Click on this view, and you can see this is the calculator that I was talking about.
Welcome.
I'm talking about. So now, just like I said,
video, I'm going to teach you how to do a drop shadow
to start
on a
configuring
shape.
Whatever it is that I did the other time. You must have
but you can also do drop shadow on text. So let's start with the shape. I'm just going to draw a polygon, and on this polygon, if once I draw it, if I double click on it real fast, you can actually change the number of sides. Did you know that? And I'm going to go up to 8 sides, and I'm going to make it look like a stop sign. And then, so I've got 2 shapes. I want to click on that first shape that I don't need.
So now you can see
delete or backspace.
So all this information.
So now I've got this gray looking stop sign that I want to change the color on. One thing I want to point out here is the difference between when you click on the fill color.
The one I
so let me click on that real quick.
Where is it? Where is it?
Single click. I double clicked, it kind of flickered. See that? So I'm going to single click on the fill, and I've got some basic colors in here, right? Not a ton of colors, but some colors. Let's say that I picked that and I decided, you know, that's just not quite the right red. Well, if I click over here, you see where these little color boxes are over here? If I click over to my fill,
the operating system,
right here,
am I
double click, I've got my color picker. Now
for a window operating system or a Linux.
I've got a whole lot more colors that I can choose from. I can actually kind of go around here, and you see the top box there, how it's changing to black?
I'm trying to
so that is what color that I'm selecting.
So is it operating system only, or going with OS? So the tier, we have the basic, we have the standard. We have the basic, we have the standard. So am I going with the basic or the standard tier? Am I going with the basic or the standard tier? So I'm going with the standard tier. I'm going to feed that in. Now, category. So you click on it. Am I going for computing optimized and general purpose GT pool for those that are into when it comes to graphics, they need they are using it, they want to use for maybe graphics or gaming stuff. So you can go with that, or high performance. But then I'm leaving this at all. That's the whole category that I want. And also instance series. You can remember the other time when under the basic, where I went to choose the series I want. So now, which series of virtual machine do you want? So I'm going with I'll just pick, is it the A series? Is it so whatever it is, because of using a free account. Post the other time, if you remember, I used that's this
Hi
section
there, in this
the D5 series.
video we're going to crop a bike inside a giant letter R, but really we want to look at the color blending. We can see how the image is blending with the background. We've offset it a little bit.
So I'm going to see cool. Let's learn how to do that now. What is the requirement I'm looking for
in Illustrator?
Is it 8 gig RAM? Is it 16 gig RAM? Is it 32 gig RAM? Let's assume that.
You don't have to. It's just an orange box. You can draw your own. It doesn't quite work as well with, like, say, solid black or a solid white color. Blending modes interact with them differently.
AV5. Let's say assume this is what I'm going for. You can see
colors.
The price also at the front already.
What I first want to do is my giant letter.
How many instances am I trying to deploy? Is it two? Is it, let's say I'm trying to deploy.
I'm using Museo Sans Rounded. I love it. Such a cool font. Whenever you're doing font sizes as well, if you want to go so big,
and
hold down
also
Shift and hold
this one is not asking you now. For how long?
The Alt key
are you planning to? Because, like we said, it's pay as you go. So for how long are you going to deploy? Now the thing is now this.
Using the option
I'm going here. Let's see.
Next thing I want to do is I want to bring in my image and resize my R.
72 hours, 730 hours, which is a month technically.
Place or Control Shift P on a PC. Pick any of the bike images. Click place and click and drag it so it's bigger than the letter R. Just has to be covering it. Okay, then you need to send it to the back. Okay, you can right click and arrange center back. Select both of them and hit Command 7.
Now you can see,
or Control 7 on a PC. That
you can see the information. Pay as you go. This was the payment plan I was explaining to you the other time.
And click
so you can see,
drag it so it's bigger than the
average total per month. So that's
covering 20, it up. Okay, then you need to send it to the back. Okay, you can right click and arrange center back. Select both of them.
Total price.
Command 7. Okay,
those
or
things
Control
I want
7 on a PC. That makes it
deploy. But
select
alone, it doesn't speak to the disk management.
Command 7. Okay, or Control 7 on.
I was talking about is it you want HDD and you want premium and the likes. So now for the I'm going to that one. I'm going to say
both of them.
It's that one HDD. No, I don't want a standard HDD. I want a standard.
Control 7 on a
Let me
PC.
take
That makes
premium that we use. I want a
so that's the kind of basics. Right now we're getting
SSD. what sites am I looking for? So I'm looking for, let's take this button. So I'm deploying 5, right? So let me say 5 also. Let me say 5. So you can see the total cost of that is $3. So now adding this $3 with the initial value that we have here, that's how we come with this aggregate that we have here, which is this amount. I'll now be able to determine, even with deploying, so that it's not be that, and over time, maybe my subscription is not able to carry it that I have already deployed. So that's the purpose of why you need this pricing calculator to help you before you go into deployment. So that's pricing calculator. And also, we've been able to see how to go about deploying a virtual machine on Azure. We've also been able to go through this notification I said the other time. You can see to already notify me what I've done today on this particular platform, to see what it is that it is when it comes to navigating the goes through the function, and also we'll be able to go through how to navigate from where we are to go to maybe we want to create a particular resource or that. So that's just that. I don't know if you have any question or what you need clarity on. Hello? I hope you can hear me. That's all about the demo section. Do you have any question, anything you need clarity on?
Yeah, sorry, sir. This virtual machine we just created, can it be accessed via another, probably via the IP address or something? That we can give out to. Okay, please, can you fast, probably in a just 1 minute, show how we can access it? I'm sorry.
I already did that the other time where I copied the
IP address.
Yeah.
Okay. Then no problem. I just wanted to know if we can access it via the IP address, and if it will probably be connected to a domain or something.
Yeah. So just like I said, this you can see the information. From this information, you extract it and then you go from there. So that's about that. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you, sir.
I asked a question about company ID during the creation.
Okay. Yeah. So for the company ID, apologies that we cannot due to some this thing. So for the company ID, you can decide what it is. Which account do you use? Which?
Yes.
So those information, since you are not creating the account in affiliation to any organization, like you are creating it for yourself, put those information according to the way you seem fit. How that is gotten, man.
Okay. I didn't get you. Did you say we should skip it? for personal addresses.
You know what? Let me see if let me see if the network is better now, and let's work. We can't work through that because of time. Because of that. So fill it according to what anything you want. Just fill it in there. You understand? Since you are not working with the company, you are not affiliated to any company. You are creating for your own demo purpose.
Okay.
So that's the thing about when you are creating demo. There are a lot of questions that will be asked that you either overlook if it's capable, that you overlook them, and if not, you are going to be the one to just put the information the way you want it there. Yeah, just like I said, remember if you're in Nigeria, when you get to
you.